Unit 1, Lesson 4. And let's talk a little bit about structure. Okay, the English structure sometimes is like Portuguese, sometimes is a little bit different. Okay, and today we are going to learn the conditionals. Okay, and we use the conditionals to talk about things that could happen, that might have happened in the past, to real situations, unreal situations. Okay, and in English we have 4 different types of conditionals. Usually when we talk about conditionals, we use the word if. Okay, if in English means se. Okay, if to talk about hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis. We have 0 conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. Let's see one by one. Okay, so we use the 0 conditional to talk about general truths. What does it mean, general truths? It means things that usually happen when something happens. For example, if you hit ice, it melts. Okay, it's the truth. Okay, if you hit ice, it melts. When the sun goes down, it gets dark. Okay, when the sun goes down, it gets dark. Okay, it's a general truth. Okay, yeah, so to make sentences about 0 conditionals, we need to use present simple in the first sentence and present simple in the second sentence. Okay, if you hit ice in the present, it melts in the present. You cannot translate literally from English to Portuguese, because the idea here in English is, if it's something obvious, if it's something which is general truth, you have to say, if you hit ice, se você esquenta o gelo, ele derrete. You cannot say, se você esquentar, ele vai derreter. Because in English, it's called 0 conditional, because it's a general truth, okay? For example, if you have money, you are rich. Okay, that's obvious. It's a general truth. Okay, general truth. If we heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. Okay, so we have to use present in the first sentence and present in the second sentence. If you have money, present. You are rich, present. If we heat water, present. It boils, present. Okay, so 0 conditional is present. All right, first conditional, we use the first conditional to talk about things that are possible or real in the future. Okay, possible or real things in the future. If you study hard in the present, you will pass the exam. Okay, it's possible. It's not a guarantee. Like in the first 0 conditional, he is a guarantee. He is not a guarantee. But if you study hard, you will pass the exam. It's real, it's possible. Okay, I'll call you if I need help. Okay, I'll call you if I need help. You can invert the order of the sentences. All right? And to talk about the first conditional, we use present simple in one sentence and will, the future, in the other sentence. Okay? For example, if you go to Miami, you will have fun. Okay? If you go to Miami, present, you will have fun. You can invert if you want. You will have fun if you go to Miami. Okay? The difference is, if you don't start the sentence with if, okay? If you don't start with if, we don't use the comma. If you use if at the beginning, we have to use comma. Okay? Comma. That's the comma. Okay? If at the beginning of the sentence, we have to use comma. If we put if in the middle of the sentence, no comma. The sentence is straight, okay? And then we use, the idea is present, and future. Okay, future with will. Okay, or you can invert, no problem. Future, like here. Future will and present. Okay? If I have money next year, I'll invest in the stock market. Okay? If I have money next year, I'll invest in the stock market. Okay? That's the first conditional. The second conditional talks about unreal. First conditional, real. Second conditional, unreal situations. Unreal. Unlikely to happen. Do you remember we studied this in the intermediate module? Unlike, not probable to happen, okay? So second conditional is unreal situations. If I had a lot of money, I would travel around the world. If I had a lot of money, I would travel around the world. But I don't have a lot of money. Okay, but if I had, supposing I had, okay, I'm talking about a hypothesis that is unreal because I don't have it, okay? If I had a Ferrari, I would show off. I would show off. You know, show off? Show off means tirar onda, ostentar. Show off. Okay? If I had a Ferrari, I would show off. And to use this sentence, we have to use past simple and would. Okay? So the structure is past and would. Okay? You can invert as well. She would have a good job if she spoke English. Okay? She would have a good job. So would. And if she had a good job. But she doesn't have. Okay? But she would have. Okay? And you can invert. Remember that if you don't start the sentence with if, no comma. If you start the sentence with if, we have comma. All right? Beautiful. So this is a conditional about something that is not real, okay? You cannot translate this se eu tive. The idea is se eu tivesse, se eu falasse, se eu fosse, okay? That's the idea of the second conditional. All right? Beautiful. And then we can talk about hypothetical situations in the past. And for that, we use the third conditional. The second conditional, we use the past, but we are not talking about the past. Okay? Past here is only the verb. Falasse, tivesse, if I had a lot of money. Okay? To talk about the past, we have to use another structure. If I had gone to bed early, I would have had a better day. If I had gone to bed early, okay? Se eu tivesse ido, okay? So I have to use had plus participle, then would have, ter, teria, would have plus participle. Okay? That's the structure. For example, if I had invested in XP, okay, I would have made good money. Okay? If I had invested in bitcoins, XP, whatever. If I had invested, se eu tivesse investido, investido. If I had invested in XP, in XP, I would have, eu teria, remember? I would have, eu teria, made good money, okay? I need to use had, participle, had invested. And would have participle, would have made good money, all right? Another example. She wouldn't have met her husband if she hadn't moved to São Paulo. Okay? She wouldn't have met her husband. So she wouldn't have met. Não teria. She wouldn't have, não teria. Conhecido, met. She wouldn't have met her husband if she hadn't moved. Não tivesse mudado to São Paulo. Okay? Excellent. Beautiful. You can invert the order, okay? So now I'm starting with would have plus participle. And the second sentence is had plus participle, okay? She wouldn't have met. She wouldn't have met. Would have and the participle. If she hadn't moved. Had plus participle. All right? We're going to practice. We're going to do some exercises to fix it. It's not a big deal, okay? It's not a big problem. It's something easy to learn. But people sometimes make mistakes because they don't pay attention when talking about it. They translate from Portuguese. The thing is, we cannot translate from Portuguese. We have to respect the structure in English, okay? Some information here. We can put if at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence, like we saw here, at the beginning or in the middle, okay? At the beginning or in the middle, okay? No problem. We can put if at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. It doesn't change the meaning. When if is at the beginning, we put a comma, right? We put a comma. That's a comma. That's a comma. Okay? We don't use a comma when if is in the middle, okay? When if is in the middle, we don't use a comma in the sentence, okay? Zero conditional, present, present. First conditional, present, will. Second conditional, past, would. Third conditional can be past perfect, which is had plus participle, and would have plus participle, okay? Now you're going to practice a little bit. You're going to do these exercises of zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. And after that, we are going to correct them together. So press pause now and do the exercises. Beautiful. Now we are going to correct these exercises together, right? Zero conditional. Zero conditional is present. Jesus Christ. Present. Present, okay? If they eat too many sweets, okay? So, if they eat too many sweets, they get fat, okay? If they eat too many sweets, they get fat. Don't translate in Portuguese, because in Portuguese we say, se eles comerem, eles vão ficar gordos, okay? That's how we say in Portuguese. You cannot translate it. You have to understand the structure. If it's obvious, it's a general truth, it's guaranteed, it's going to happen, present, present. If they eat too many sweets, they get fat, okay? I just need to repeat the verb in the present, okay? Number 2, if I speak to Olivia, she gets annoyed, okay? Every time. Olivia, she's very difficult. Every time. If I speak to Olivia, she gets annoyed, okay? If I speak to Olivia, she gets annoyed. I get annoyed. She gets annoyed, okay? Very complicated to talk to Olivia. 3. If you heat water to 100 degrees, okay? So if you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. It boils, okay? It boils. It's obvious, it's guaranteed. Try it. If you heat water 100 degrees, it boils. Not it will boil. Não é a água vai ferver. A água ferve. If you boil, okay? If you heat, the water boils. And number 4, I like to visit soccer stadiums if in a new city. Okay, so I like to visit soccer stadiums if I am in a new city. Okay, it's a general truth. Every time I visit a new city, I like to visit soccer stadiums. So present, present. All right. 5, first conditional, talking about the future, real situations. Okay. If I go out tonight, or if I go out tonight, I will go to a fancy restaurant. If I go out tonight, I will go to a fancy restaurant. 6. If you get back late, she will be angry. So if you get back late, she will be angry. It's real, okay? It's real. It's going to happen. 7. If we, negative, see each other next week. So if we, in the present, if we don't see each other next week, we will, okay, or contracting, will see each other the week after. All right? Number 8. If she so if she comes, I'll be surprised, or I will be surprised, I'll be surprised. First conditional, present, future. Okay? Will. Second conditional, number 9. If I, verb to be, I get that new job. So if I were you, can I say if I was? You can say if I was, but it's more common when you talk about English, everybody is were. For example, I was, you were, that's the past, right? In English, everybody is were. If I were, if you were, if she were, okay? When we talk about conditionals, we put everybody with were. It's okay to say was. People will understand you. Like Justin Bieber's song. If I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go. Okay? It's a second conditional. I'm not your boyfriend. But if I was your boyfriend, I would never let you go. I'd never let you go. If I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go. Okay? I'm not your boyfriend, but if I was, but in English, most correct, okay, is to say if I were. But you can say both, okay? No problem. So if I were you, I would get that new job. Okay? If I were you, I would get that new job. All right? 10. If she younger, she travel more. So if she were, again, you can say was, no problem. But the most correct one is, if she were younger, she would travel, viajaria. She would travel, ela viajaria. She would travel more. 11. If we not friends, I angry with you. If we weren't friends, I would be angry with you. Okay? We are friends. We are. But if we weren't, and pay attention to the pronunciation, weren't, were not, weren't friends, I would be angry with you. Or I'd be. Okay, no problem. I'd be. Okay, I'd be. 12. If enough money, I'd buy a farm. So if I had, in the past, right? So second conditional is past. So if I had enough money, I would buy, compraria, I would buy a farm. Okay, I would buy a farm. 13. Third conditional, to talk about the past. Okay, third condition is to talk about the past. To talk about the past. If you were late, we missed the bus. We missed the bus. But if you hadn't been late, we wouldn't have missed the bus. Se você não tivesse estado late, we wouldn't have, não teríamos missed the bus, perdido o ônibus, okay? We wouldn't have missed the bus, all right? 14. If she go to art school, she become a painter. Talking about the past. If she had gone to art school, she would have become a painter. Okay, if she had gone, she would have become a painter. All right? 15. If married, we married, here is inverting, if in the middle of the sentence. Okay? So, we married if we go to the same university. So we wouldn't have got or gotten, doesn't matter, married, okay? If we wouldn't, we wouldn't have gotten married if we hadn't gone to the same university. We wouldn't have gotten married if we hadn't gone to the same university. All right? And the last one, 16, he on time if he earlier. Okay? He would have been on time. Okay? He would have been on time if he would have been on time if he had left earlier. Okay, he's not on time, but he would have been on time if he had left earlier. All right, we use conditionals all the time. This must be really clear to you. Okay, if you have any questions, just send us an email and then we are going to answer. But make sure you practice a lot the connectors because they are the conditionals, because they are really important and you use them all the time. All right? I hope you liked and I hope you understood the lesson, and I see you in the next lesson. See you.